Let's do this. I'm obsessed with those. There they go. This is so nice. I am extra. Finally, you get the gist. Good morning. Welcome back to the vlog, you guys, and welcome back again to my car. This time we're not heading to a market. If this is your first time here, my name is Victoria. I run a small bath and body care brand named Renascential, but we actually aren't in it physically today for the first time in a while. If you missed last week's video, you missed a little bit of space planning that I did. I recently bought a house and have been slowly renovating my garage into my new studio space. It's been a minute since I've done any organizing and, things like that to make the space really function the way that I need it to. So in last week's video, I actually did an audit of my entire studio, kind of the current setup that I'm using, how I like it, what I don't like about it, and things like that. And if you've caught some of my recent vlogs, you've heard me complain about feeling like a chicken with my head cut off while working in my studio because I just have things too spread out. I haven't gotten used to the new space, all of the things. So in this video, I did a full audit. I took stock of everything I have, what I think I'm missing, where I want to set things up, yada yada. So if you missed that, make sure you go check that out first because some things will be changing in the studio after this. For today's agenda, we are on the way to my favorite place, IKEA. They have some pegboards and floating shelves that have my and Renascential's name all over it. We're on our way there so that we can get this studio series popping. I am an emotional girly, so I'm gonna keep this little portion kind of short. I have to take a second to say thank you. Guys, we just crossed 1,700 subscribers. Huh? I've said it once, I will keep saying it because every day I'm kind of a little mind blown. I have wanted to make videos on YouTube for basically my entire life being on the internet. And as a millennial, it's a long time. And you guys are watching the videos alone, like that would be enough for my little happy heart, like, oh, I'm getting some views. But you guys are also commenting the nicest things, mind you. Oh my gosh, some of you make me cry. And then the fact that you guys are subscribing and you're turning on your notifications to know when I'm posting, it's surreal. This is so cool. Thank you guys. All right, that's all I got. I can't afford that tears in my eyes. I'm driving. I'll see you guys at IKEA. Let's do this. Okay, so like I said, I already have an idea of some of the things that I know for sure I want, but might as well do some perusing while I'm here. I'm not exactly sold on which floating shelves I want yet. I like that these have the ledge, but again, I think that the pegboards, the tray that comes with that also has a ledge. I'm fine without that. There they go. This is the star of my show today. And honestly, I really like the floating shelf that they have here too, because I could do exactly what they're doing here and put my backdrop rolls into these slots so that those are also off the ground now. I typically shoot at the front of the studio anyway, so that could be really helpful. And then this, I'm getting all of the accessories and I want 2 pegboards. Literally this setup looks real good, real good. I'm still trying to decide what to do with the wall that's now going to be empty where all of my boxes are, because once I move all of that underneath the wall mounted shelf, I'll basically have a wide open spot. So what I like about it is that it takes up a little bit of wall space, and then this can go up and then lock into position. So it would give me another worktop area. I have one of these carts right now and I love it, but one of the wheels broke, so I think I might need to pick up another one of those too. Vlogging at markets, easy. Vlogging at IKEA? Ugh. I have absolutely no purpose for this, but I think it's so beautifully put together. All the different colors here. Oh my gosh, this is so nice. I'm not sure if I want something with some drawers because it'd be nice since I'm getting rid of all those cubby units. Maybe I do need some more concealed storage, or I could just go with, you know, like a normal flat shelf. Either way, I'm definitely going to go with this bracket because I love that I can use this area to store my rolls and everything like that, like I mentioned earlier. It's only $8, so 16 to get one on either side. And then I can get as long as a shelf as I need. I love the calyx units and then all of the configurations you can do. If I wanted a smaller pegboard, I could do something like this and then it functions as a cabinet. Or I'm thinking I definitely need something like this to help just organize my paperwork and stuff that's kind of in that junk cabinet right now. I have 2 big junk cabinets and there's no rhyme or reason to anything. What I'm struggling with right now is if I want to get something and keep everything white or start introducing some like wood tones and things like that. Like you guys have seen my booth setup. I love natural wood and just like fibers and textures like that. So maybe I need to look into some options like that. This is where I'm gonna start to get indecisive and things get stressful, decision making time. I want a standing desk real bad. Like this would be so nice, but that's not so nice, not right now. But I love that I could adjust it and do my thing. One of the most comfortable desk chairs that I've ever owned is actually from IKEA, and I sold it when I moved out of New York City, but it's $400. It was not that expensive in 2021. I actually don't even see it here right now. I see a different version of it, but it's not the exact one I had. I'm pretty sure it was this one, but the back was higher and it didn't have arms. So maybe not. Did they discontinue it? It could also be this one, but same thing. Mine didn't have arms on it. That looks closer to the price I remember, so maybe this is it. I'm really thinking I hit the jackpot when I saw that first setup with the pegboard because that looked really good. Like, I want that shelf with that bracket. I want the 2 pegboards set up. This might have been easy. Not for the studio, but I really enjoy the shape and the length of this mirror. This would be nice in my entryway. I don't actually have a place for it, but I'll make one. Here's some more pegboards. While I'm here, I'm totally looking for ideas for the house in itself. I want a farmhouse sink so bad. Would you guys be interested in any videos just about the house renovation? Are you into that? A little lifestyle vlogging too? Because all you gotta do is say the word, and I'm gonna jump deep into my HDTV bag. I'd never seen a full-length mirror that I didn't like. Now it's time for the real shopping. Would love to have more light out in the studio, but I don't think I would mount anything. Maybe just a good floor lamp. I love this little light. I'm obsessed with this. I love that it's like already a warm color. $70 though, worth it. And this one, oh my gosh, look at it. Okay, I gotta put my blinders back on because it's gonna get real dangerous in here if I don't focus. Heading to home organization. Now the question becomes, do I want kind of a natural wood color pegboard with white accessories, or a white pegboard so it just meshes into the wall and then all the accessories can be a color like they were back there? Oh my gosh, I thought I had more time to think. Gotta make some choices. This is actually a lot bigger than the one that was displayed back there. And I don't think I would need 2 if I go with something this big, unless I did it vertically. I'm getting decision fatigue and I just started. Okay, so we're gonna go with the 2 of them that are the 22 by 22 size and then accessorize them like crazy. I actually wasn't planning on getting this. I didn't think I needed it, but I think this would actually be a good solution for holding all of my samples, like the ones I put on my cards, my thank you cards for shipped orders. It's nice because they're clear and then they like slide out. I'm still not sure if I want the white pegboard or the wood one, but I'm actually not seeing the wood one anywhere. So that decision might be getting made for me. These are those containers that I just picked up. You see, well, they have these glued shut, but it slides out, and then I could have all my little samples in there and assorted fragrances. Now that I can't find it, I really do want the natural color pegboard. It's almost like, is it just because I can't find it? Do I really want that one? I do, I really want that one. Here are the brackets I need for the floating shelf. Let's get 2 of those. I think I almost got everything I need. I'm heading to Wall Decor and Mirrors to get that picture ledge shelf that I saw. Okay, I was able to confirm that the wood colored pegboard is out of stock. They haven't had it in a while apparently, and then it goes quick. I went with the white one, and I think for the picture ledge shelf, that one comes in a pretty wood color. So I think I'll do that. And then I'm also gonna head back to the section where I got the long floating shelf to see if they have that in a wood color, because that might look good too. So like both of my shelves will be this, and then the white pegboard, white accessories, but of course everything on the board will have color. So I'm not really that concerned anymore. Let's go take a look and see if that comes in wood. So it doesn't come in the wood color. This is another option, the Tran Holt. And I could also get these brackets. I think I like the other ones that I have more though. I don't want just one wood colored thing on the wall. I think that would look not intentional. But I'm gonna go back and get the white picture ledge shelf because I think it'll just be fine with all of the other color of the accessories and things like my materials that will be up on the wall. Okay, code red, I'm over budget. We need to get out of the store. The last thing that I needed was mounting hardware for the long tabletop that I have. So I just picked that up and I'm heading to checkout before my bank calls me and marks my card for fraud. It is hot. Okay guys, I am on the move for home and I will see you when I get there. We'll do a little haul, or a big haul, because once again, I am extra. Okay guys, we are back and we are better. I have a new mic. How's the audio? Sound good? Okay, I have everything stacked over here to my right, so let me get into the haul because we have a good amount of stuff to look at. So I'm having one of those days where I have a little bit of window time to get this portion filmed, and then I still need to mount things on the wall. So bear with me, I'm going to roll through this quickly, but anything that I forgot will obviously be down in the description. I'll have sizes and things for you on screen. Let's do this. First and foremost, we have all of our base pieces that I need that everything else will build upon. So first up, we have a long picture ledge shelf that I showed you guys. I kind of went back multiple times to figure out what color I wanted in this one. I did go with white for everything. That's fine because the things that I'll have displayed on it will have color and I can bring in personality in that way. And I don't know, worst case scenario, I can paint this stuff, I think. Once it's mounted, I'm not going to take it down to paint it. It's gonna be white and that's perfectly fine. Maybe I'll paint the walls one of these days. So first up is the picture ledge shelf. I got it in a pretty long length just in case I need that. I'm not completely sure where this one's going to go. I was doing some visual planning this morning and I might have gone overboard with like a couple of things, so I might not use them. This is on that list. We'll see if this actually gets put up. Next up is the floating shelf, which is a lot heavier than I remember it being the other day. My gosh. This is the floating shelf that I got. Everything's still in packaging, by the way, but you get the gist. I believe this came in like 2 or 3 different lengths. There was one shorter than this and one a little longer, or kind of a lot longer than this. I went with the middle length and I think that's perfect for the amount of space that I'm working with. And again, once you see how I'm planning to put things up on the wall, it'll make sense why I went with this length. This is number 2. To actually mount that, I got 3 of these like hinge brackets, mounting hardware. I'm not really sure what to call it, to be honest, but this is the Per Schultz bracket. And I told you guys when I was there, I like it because of this open space. I can use this to store my rolls of backdrops that I use for photography. And then the shelf kind of slides right into this area here. So I'll have a lot of space. Well, I believe it's this way. Yes, this way. So shelf will slide in here, and I have 3 of these just in case I need one in the center. Actually, I definitely need the one in the center because like I'm saying, I want to use this to store all of my rolls of backdrops. So I'll have one on the outer sides, one in the center so that they have enough space to connect on both ends. Again, you'll see what I'm talking about once we actually start setting it up. 3 of those. Next up, the star of the show. I got 2 pretty big pegboards. I got 2 of these. These come in a bunch of different sizes. And honestly, when I was there, I got a little bit of a decision fatigue moment because I couldn't figure out what size or shape I wanted. I really wanted the natural wood color of these, but they were out of stock. The guy advised me, he was like, do you live nearby? Because when we get them, they go like that. So I went with the white. Again, it's fine. I don't mind kind of doing them up with some accessories and just decor that'll be on the boards themselves. So it's all going to look great. I got 2 of these big boys. They are both the same size, and a little bit of me has been worried about the spacing, and maybe I should have gone with the smaller, more rectangular size of these and still gotten 2, but that is not what I did. We're going to make these work, and I think it's great to have all of the storage. I'll find a way to use it. If anything, I might be lacking on accessories to style on these. We'll touch on that next. Accessories. First of all, I got 3 of the pegboard mounting kind of cups. One will definitely be for writing utensils, ruler, highlighters, things like that. The other 2 I have ideas for, but to be honest, I don't really know for sure yet. So we'll workshop that together. But I have 3 of these to go across the 2 pegboards. Probably could have gotten 4, but again, I don't know exactly what's going in them. So what's the point of getting more? 3 of those. Next up for the pegboard, I got 2 packs of the clips that are compatible with the Scatus. And as you see, they just kind of clip right onto the board themselves, and then I can put postcards or little reminder note, sticky notes and things like that. 2 of those, and they come in a pack of 2, so I have 4 total. Next, I have hooks. So the first ones I have are the longer kind of shaped ones, and these are the ones that I'll use to put my roll of tape on, the fragile stickers, my little circle stickers, things like that. They didn't have anything that was like a rod that connects on both sides and creates like a long rod that all of them can hang on together. So I think it's fine. I got these. They come in a pack of 2. So I have 4 of those total. And right now I can think of 3 things that need to hang on them. And these are long enough that I'm pretty sure the fragile stickers and something else could fit on one hook if I needed, you know, that kind of situation. So 4 of those. And then the last little hook that I got is this shaped one. And I like this because I think I could use it for my scissors. I don't know. I'll find a way to use them. But this came in a pack of 5 actually. So I have a good amount of these, and I'll definitely find a way to use them. So 5 of those. For more storage, I showed you guys, I'm really excited about these. I love the shape of them and that they're clear so you can actually see what's inside. And here is how they kind of open and slide out. So I think this is beyond perfect to put my samples in for each product. And then I can always find a way to use more stuff. So this came in a pack of 3. Yes, 3. Next, I have 2 shelves, or I guess 1 tray and 1 shelf, both again, Scatus compatible. This one looks like this. And I love that it has a flat plane so that anything can sit on top of it. And I think it's a good enough amount of surface area that I can do some damage with this. I'm looking at things off camera that I know for sure are going to get displayed or, you know, organized onto this shelf. And then the other one I got is the tray shaped one. This one looks like this. And I love that it has a little bit of a tray lip to it so that I can display my thank you cards, business cards, things like that, that could just easily slide off of it. That can be on this tray. Did you guys know that a lot of IKEA's like floating shelves and things don't come with hardware to actually mount it? I almost left the store without any kind of hardware, and I noticed that the picture ledge shelf is very light. There's nothing else in there but the shelf and then a piece of paper, I guess, with the product information. So I asked one of the associates, am I missing it? Am I in the wrong? And the guy said, oh no, those are separate. So I went ahead because a girl's got to have tools and nails and bits and things like that. So I bought a good pack of their screws, and it comes with a bunch of different screws in different lengths and shapes and XYZ. So we got that too. Okay, so I know I mentioned that I'll be mounting this long tabletop that I have behind me. Right now, it's just balanced on top of those Calyx cubby unit. So instead, those will be moving, the tabletop will be mounted. And because I'm doing that, I needed some brackets, or what is the right name for this? Am I blanking? Is it brackets? I think it's brackets. Either way, I got 3 of these, and these are the Renascential brackets. They apparently are the most heavy duty. They can hold the most weight. So of course I did that because I have my big old laser printer back there that'll be sitting on this, mounted on the wall. We don't need any accidents. I got 3, one for the outers, one for the center, and I was advised that this can hold a good amount of weight. Don't let me down, IKEA. I forgot I got this. I also got a little fake plant because I think it looks pretty good quality, like in person. This has the perfect sheen to it where it looks like a real plant. I do have a green thumb. I love plants, but right now I don't exactly have time to care for them the way that I'd like to. I went with a fake plant for now. I want to get snake plants and other things out here. I got this. I think it's really pretty, and I think it'll sit nicely either on the floating shelf or on the pegboard shelf, one of the two, and just look nice kind of dangling down the wall, just to bring in some color finally. And then also from IKEA, I got 2 of their Calyx organizational inserts that you can get for the Calyx unit specifically. One of them has multiple shelves and the other one just has one shelf. I think that'll be great to put inside those units. But this is also on my list of things that might get returned because I'm not completely sure if I need it, if I'm going to use it, if it's worth it to do right now. It might be worth it to just return it and figure that out later. Especially if I move those Calyx units into my house, into one of the guest bedrooms, it just might not be necessary, but we'll see. I got it because I have wanted it and I think it'll help to organize my paperwork and things like that. We will check in on this one. Before I open these boxes, I want to know for sure what I'm doing. So this will be the last thing that gets implemented, if at all. But for reference, one of them looks like this and it just has the one shelf, so it creates 2 little organizational areas. And the other one has 4 sections that it'll give me organizing for. And this is the one that I think would be really great for paper organizing, maybe label paper organizing. I'm thinking I should have just gotten multiple of these. You live and you learn. Oh my gosh. Okay, last thing from IKEA, which I'm so excited about. I don't know why this is such a big deal to me, but I've wanted it for a while. This is a trash bin, but I will be using it for my packing peanuts. I love that it has a hinge top. This is so convenient, so I don't have to take it off completely. And it hinges on both sides. So we got the smaller side, packing peanuts, or on the larger side, so I can 2 hands it. And yeah, I really like this thing. I wanted it for a minute. This will be sitting underneath the tabletop once I get that mounted. And then all my shipping boxes over here, it'll just help to get everything to the front of the studio, which is the point. I'm so happy. Last up. And you know what? I'll actually throw a picture of this here for you guys to see what I'm talking about. But I got this unit from Amazon, and I think this will be perfect for mounting up my roll of crinkle paper. It's what I use instead of using bubble wrap, and right now it comes on a roll. So I was looking for something that might put it onto the pegboards, but it's way too heavy for that. So I decided to get this unit, and I like that it's black just to create a little bit of contrast onto the wall. And then it works because like my little tray that I have over here, utility wheeling tray, this thing from IKEA, that is black. I have a black trash can. So there's black elements in here. So having that on the wall, kind of in the center, like I'm planning it, I think will look good. So that came in, you know, multiple parts here, but this will be mounted onto the wall so that it can hold that roll. And I think, yeah, that's everything. That was a very successful shopping trip. And I only came back with things for the studio. That's not like me, so good job, girl. Okay, so we know the plan. We have the tools. It's time to get to work. I'm going to get this stuff mounted. Let me be completely honest. I have a friend who's gonna come by and help me get this stuff mounted. So he doesn't wanna be on camera. Once I'm done getting all of that done, I will bring you guys back and then we'll do the styling together. Okay, there is massive progress behind me. Massive. And I've learned 2 valuable life lessons. Lesson number 1, I need to be more patient. I've known this about myself my entire life. I'll get there eventually. But I say that because now that they're up, I wish even more that I would have waited for the wood colored pegboards just so that there was a bit more contrast on the wall. They still look great. I'm still over the moon happy with how good they look, especially when I get everything on them. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Not the end of the world, not even close to the end of the world. So I'm so happy with them. Let me show you them up close and then we'll talk about lesson number 2. Okay, so here's what we're working with right now and I am obsessed. First of all, what we're going to do is ignore these extra holes and, you know, wall mess ups. Pretend they aren't there. I'll fix it later. Just as planned, we've got the 2 pegboards, the floating shelf right in the center, and then I put the roll that holds my paper, which is already up and ready to go, right there in the center below everything, just so that it's a bit closer to the tabletop and I can kind of roll it out as I need it, but it's also high enough that it's out of my way. I'm good to go. I'm ready to start kind of accessorizing in a second here, but just to kind of recap, I went with a shorter length shelf than I originally wanted to. If you guys remember the reference picture, the store setup that they had for this kind of had this up top, the 2 pegboards side by side in the center, kind of right below that, and then that picture ledge shelf was underneath everything. I decided to forego the picture ledge shelf. That one's getting returned. I don't need it. This is now in its place, and I went with the pegboard spread out mainly because of space and how high of a space I have to work with. I didn't want the shelf to start interfering with the door as it raises. I didn't want to have to reach too high for anything on the pegboard, so I didn't want to reverse it and do pegboards on top, shelf on the bottom. So I think this works. It keeps everything on the same, you know, horizontal plane. I'm really happy with the setup. I think that works perfectly for the amount of space that I have to work with. Now, just so I can get it out of my system and I can say I said it and then I can let it go and move on. If I would have gotten those wood colored pegboards, I think it would have looked so good to have wood here, wood here. All of the accessories could have still been white, and then the shelf honestly could be either, but I probably also would have switched that out for a wood one. They didn't have a wood one. Now that I think about it, that was the issue. Well, part of the issue. So I'm happy with the white shelf, but I think 2 wood pegboards would have tied in nicely to, like, you know, the natural color of my wrapping paper. I even could have gotten some black accessories to tie in the black holder for this roll. I'm happy enough. It looks great and I'm perfectly fine with painting it. I know that painting IKEA stuff can be kind of a hassle because of the material, and some things you have to sand down, some things can't be sanded down. I'm pretty sure though that I've seen something on the market. It's a primer spray paint, or you can even paint it on by hand, and that makes it possible to paint materials like this. So that's now my plan, is to paint it, or, and I probably can't stain it because it's not wood, but maybe there's a way that I can still make it look like a natural wood color without actually having it be the natural wood color. The other thing we were able to get done is mounting up this table, but as you can see, I still have one of the calyx units underneath here, and actually there's a piece of cardboard kind of sandwiched between that and the table because IKEA gave me some bad advice. Talk about lesson number 2. I asked 3 different store associates when I was in IKEA. I also called and was on hold with IKEA for over 20 minutes with their customer service team. I gave them the measurements of this tabletop. I told them what would be sitting on top of it, my big laser printer. I told them that that's just what will stationary be there, but I'll also have other jars and containers and things that will, you know, need to sit on this at some point. And everybody told me to get those Renascential, I think they're called. Yes, the Renascential bracket wall pieces. Everyone said it'll be fine. It'll hold. It's great. They were also very smart about their wording. No one guaranteed anything. No one guaranteed anything, but they all told me these are our most heavy duty, heavy load brackets. You'll be fine. So I believed them. I'm here to tell you that I should not have believed them. The second that we got them in the wall and then we held the table up so that I held the table while he could screw it in underneath, it became immediately obvious. This isn't going to support any weight. Like, it might not even support itself, which is obviously problematic. So where do I go from here? So yeah, for now, I have this calyx unit underneath it, and I still have that piece of cardboard because I don't want it to have any of its own weight. Like, I don't want to trip out the wall. Those are going to have to go. It's just not going to work, and I'm annoyed about it. I'm quite annoyed about it. I'm gonna try to return those, you know, state my case and let them know, hey, I asked you guys like a lot and everybody told me it'd be fine and it won't be fine. But after my friend left, he actually had to go, and we'll be back tomorrow to help me put up these new brackets that I got from Lowe's, which should be a lot better. Number one, you can tell the surface area of them It's a lot longer. This should hold a ton more weight. With this supporting bracket in the center, this is what the ram Schultz are missing. And we had two ideas. My friend sent me to Lowe's to go get wood. He gave me measurements of the wood that I would need to actually attach it on each side. So down here on one side and on the other side down here. And then it would connect either down to the floor or like as low as possible onto the wall before it hits like the brick underneath here. I'll get under here and show you guys what I'm talking about in a second. That was option number one. And I didn't like that option because now I have to paint the wood white or something. But more importantly, it would take up leg room, not even leg room. It would just take up space down there that I need open for my boxes to display how I need them to. So I didn't love that idea, but for stability purposes, I was at the point where I was like, okay, I mean, I don't want the calyxes under here anymore. And I don't want my laser printer to fall in the middle of the night. So I guess I'll go with the wood. When I got to Lowe's, someone very helpful there pointed me to these. And yeah, they're like holding them. They're very heavy, but also they say heavy duty. It's 19.5 inches by 13 inches, two-way shelf bracket. This is what I should have gotten in the first place. But now I have what I need and we'll get these mounted tomorrow. So I'll do one final clip and kind of show you guys that once it's up and how it should be. But as you can see, it is higher than it was before, a little bit higher, which makes it nice for when I'm, you know, standing here stamping bags or mixing things. It's about the same height as my metal table. Love that. It's a good standing height, but also not too high. So when I have my desk chair over here, I can still comfortably sit here and do some work from this area too. This will be coming tomorrow. And that's lesson number 2 is, I don't know, use common sense. I think that's a bit of it. Looking at the brackets, I was like, I don't know. That's why I asked 3 people. That's why I called even after purchasing to ask them one more time, hey, are we sure about this? I knew something was off and I still did it, so. Okay, so just to show you guys what I'm kind of talking about down here, this is the Ramschult bracket piece. And as you can see, there's just not enough surface area that it's covering that it'll support this at all. We tried, the second it was mounted, any weight put on the front of the shelf, the whole thing would come tumbling forward. So that's not gonna work. No, don't do that. This one, on the other hand, takes up way more room and it has that support bracket in the center that will make it way sturdier. And I have 4 of them. Pretty sure we only need 3, but I got 4 just in case. This is going to be exactly what I needed in the first place. While I can't go ahead and move the calyx shelf out of the way, I can go ahead and just take everything that I currently have in this one back here and this one over here and start putting it up on the pegboards because that's what I'm most excited to do. And then tomorrow, once we get the tabletop mounted correctly, I will then be able to move these out the way and put them toward the back of the studio once I can bring my boxes to the front. Oh, the things are happening, finally. So right after he left, I was so excited and wanted to, you know, start wrapping my mind around some of these updates. So I did go ahead and start planning out where some of these pegboard accessories are actually going to go on both of these boards. I have a little bit of a starting point, but I'm pretty sure some things will probably still change. Okay, so I've got everything up and I think this will work perfectly for now. Things will probably change. That's just how I am. But as they are right now, I'm happy with everything and how it's placed. That was the smallest change I could have made, but it did something for me. It's time to put my stuff on them. Now, something I think I want to do, since all this is white and I want that contrast to get it to pop off the wall. For now, until I paint them, I could also just think about getting some wicker baskets or, a different color container to store things on this shelf or on this shelf. For now, these are the ones I have. They're kind of like this clear white. So I'll use that for now. And then long term, while I still decide what color to paint the boards, if I'm going to do that at all, it would be nice to have at least like a wicker basket or something just to bring that color here instead. For now, this will do, but long term, they won't stay. Okay, so a bit of a little sneak peek behind me, but we'll look at it in detail once I'm done. I've been making some products and doing other things as I've been filming this video, and I have a pretty big market coming up this weekend, so I'm a little bit mentally tired. I'm going to wrap up for the day and go inside and make some dinner, but tomorrow I'm going to get the tabletop officially mounted correctly, and then I can put the final touches all together and show you guys what the studio is looking like now. So, see you in the morning. That is a perfect fit. Oh, I love when things work out. Okay, so I just did a good deep clean of this whole space, cleaned the floors, I even wiped down the walls and arranged my back metal shelves that were kind of a mess before. Let me show you everything we did and where the studio stands. First, we'll do a quick overview of the entire space, but there's the back wall, here's the inventory wall of products and ingredients, and here's my new Pride and Joy wall. Over here, hold please. This has been driving me crazy every week when I'm going back and looking at my footage. Finally, as I was saying, over here, I have arranged these shelves a little bit better now that I had some more storage containers to work with. Everything on them is exactly the same. All my photography, gear, and props are over on this shelf, and then this shelf is my market shopping shelf. Everything that I bring with me to markets currently or that I could use in the future, just a bunch of things like that. Here on the top, just, you know, some studio necessities. These I use for double boiling, and then some filling containers up there. These are finally organized. They look a lot better. It's not just stuff stacked on a shelf. I'm really happy with it. Right next to those is where I decided to put one of the extra calyx shelves, and then all of this is actually just stuff that's getting returned to either IKEA or Lowe's. For now, I'll keep these in here, but I really don't think this is where they'll stay. And I'll show you where I have the other one set up on the other wall in just a second. For now, because I have it and I could use the storage, I went ahead and just put the gift bags that I use when I'm out at markets for customers. I've got pressure seals and shrink wraps over here, and then the envelopes that I use for the big 20-ounce sizes of my new bath salts. Yes, bath salts. I told you guys I wanted to sell those in 3 different sizes. So I have 8-ounce, 16-ounce, and then 20-ounce if you kind of want to refill your own jars or just, you know, go big in the first place. That's where those are. And then just, you know, holding case for my tripod. On this wall, I put up my whiteboard, which right now is reminding me to wash my tablecloths. And then I have my big light that's pretty much always on when I'm in here filming. And then this is where I put the other calyx unit, which right now is just holding the Discovery kit boxes that I use for the body scrubs and body creams, and then body oils on that side. Down here, hot mess. We will worry about that a different day. Okay, let's pop to the front of the studio to show you guys what I'm sure you've all been waiting for. Okay, here's the pegboard wall. Let me kind of talk through how I organized it. It's pretty self-explanatory. Over here, I have all my writing utensils, some business cards from some of my friends who are vendors that I've met out at markets. I've got that pretty faux plant that I found at IKEA, which honestly, it's doing a lot of work on this wall. I'm really happy that I got that. Up here, I just have some goggles from working with certain ingredients that mainly comes into play when I'm working through my course, to be honest. Just other, miscellaneous things up there: tape, stapler, sticky pads, scissors, and then again, just miscellaneous staple remover and a, what is this called? Little whiteout stick. And then again, just another like pamphlet and some business cards over there. On the floating shelf, I put my label applicator, my tape labels, and then there's a few things inside this container. Tape that I got from noissue.com, just in case you guys are interested just in more details about my packaging and where I get all of my custom tape from, my thank you cards, business cards, all that stuff. Check out this video. I go into a lot of detail there about all the sustainable options that I picked just to keep everything looking high end, but also good for the earth. Also in here, I have my stamps for my boxes and my gift bags, the ink pads to go with the stamps. I also have my shipping scale and then the little sponges that came with the custom tape that I have. So you can actually wet this so that you can wet the back of your tape just in case you're not actually using a tape dispenser. Right underneath this shelf is where I have all of the rolls of backdrops that I use for photography. I kind of, in a perfect world, would have put these two brackets a bit closer together and then just gotten rid of the one in the middle, because I don't think the shelf is long enough that it was needed. It was already up. I didn't want more holes to fill in the wall, so I just left it as is. But this is where I have all of my backdrops. And right below that is where I have all of the stickers that I use for my discovery kits, kind of just laid out across the top of my roll of crinkle wrapping paper that I use for packaging orders. I can't even put into words how excited I am about having this roll mounted. Oh my gosh, it's just one of those tedious things that I was having to do like on a tabletop and then rip it. This is awesome. I am very happy with it. Last but not least, over on this side is where I have some more of the packaging materials and supplies that I need for when I'm doing orders. I have a roll of my tape. I have blue tape and also my fragile stickers on this roll. And then over on this one, I have the little sticky dots that I use to put my samples on thank you cards, and also the little circle stickers that I use on the top of my jars. I also have a heat gun here for applying the shrink wraps. I have highlighters and Sharpies in this one just because I tend to reach for those differently. I don't know. I had the container, so I figured I'd use it over on this side. This tray here will change once I get another shipment of my thank you cards in. I think it'd be nice to have those up here. And then these right now are the boxes that I use for my perfume oils. I'm not completely sure where I'll put them yet. That's kind of easy. They could just stack and I reach for them when I'm making a batch of the perfumes anyway. So it's not like I need them as often as I'll need my thank you cards or other things like that. It's kind of a part of my batch creation. Also in here, I just have some of the little sticky notes. I use these all the time when I'm making batches of products because they're small enough to fit on my beakers and just help me keep track of the different batches. Finally, over here, I have these last two little slide out containers empty right now because again, I'm still waiting to get back into the groove of getting samples on all of my thank you cards when those go out. You guys have probably seen, I've been writing hand thank you messages on the packing slip of all my orders lately. Once I get more thank you cards, I'll be able to address them to each person and it just looks really nice. So I'll have those and then I'll also be attaching a sample on each card. So that's where these will be. I have two of them, one for creams and one for body scrubs. And the last new thing to look at is this mounted tabletop, which it is sturdy. Like I'm actively trying to shake it and it's not budging. So just in case you're doing this, once again, lesson number 2, we don't listen to IKEA associates. We don't do that. Get the right brackets from Lowe's or somewhere else, probably even Amazon and Home Depot, whatever. Get those kind of brackets. I'll actually have them down in the description just in case you guys need them. Everything that's new, I'll have in the description for you guys. I have that mounted correctly now. So I have my laser printer back on the top in its home. I have the thermal shipping label printer back in its home. And then down here, as you can see, I finally have all of my shipping boxes at the front of the studio. Small change, but a massive difference for my process. Just a couple more things over here. This now hinges open for all of my packing peanuts. So this is super easy to get to now. And then on top of it is where I have all of the envelopes that I use for when I'm shipping out kind of smaller orders. If people order like 1 2-ounce thing or a few 2-ounce little jars and bottles, or specifically when they're ordering perfume oils and that's it for the order, I put them inside an envelope instead of one of my small boxes, which I think works very well. Instead of having, you know, like an even smaller box option, I like this, and I can still stamp my logo on these too. So love these. I have these in 2 different sizes. So the one that I just had, I actually don't remember the exact measurements. These are the 2 different sizes that I use, and these are awesome. They're 100% compostable. So again, I'll have them linked below. Now, I love it when a plan comes together. I actually have an order that I need to pack up and get out today. Let's actually test out this process before I close out this video. This is actually a very easy order to package, so I'm not getting the entire, you know, deal here. That's totally fine. I can still kind of pantomime myself how this would go. So if this were a bigger order, this is so simple to do now. I can reach down here and grab my box, get it up, and easily grab my stamp that I need for it, stamp the other side, stamp. Once that's done, I can go ahead and fold it up and then grab some packing peanuts right here. We are still in the same spot and I'm just flowing. Once I got the box built, packing peanuts inside, I can then grab the product and then come over here, move these stickers out my way, and get however much of this paper that I need, just stretch it out and wrap everything up. After that, the last steps would be to grab a thank you card, write the person's name, print out their packing slips and the shipping label, go ahead and package up the box, get that closed, get some tape, seal it, and I'm out the door. I moved like 2 steps. Did you see it? It was quick. I would understand if you missed it. Overall, wow, what a dream. Okay, so let's actually pack up this order. And like I said, it's 1 black, amber, and lavender perfume oil, so that's pretty simple. Have it here. I'm gonna go ahead and create the shipping label, and I'm gonna have this go out in my small envelope, which is right here. Again, I like to stamp these so that they have my branding on the outside of it. And then really the last thing I would need for this, so once it's stamped, I can go ahead and put this inside, but I do like to go ahead and put the shipping label on the back of it first so that it's still flat and not hard to apply. Let's print that out, write a quick note, and then this is ready to go out the door. I was just about to look under here for all my pens, but now they're right here on top. Ready to go? Okay guys, this is where I'm going to wrap up this episode of the Studio Makeover series. I'm gonna go get this in the mail so that Donna can get her perfume. Thank you, Donna. You guys always have some of the best ideas down in the comments, so please leave me a comment. Let me know if you have any suggestions and things that I can keep workshopping in this space before we move into the really fun part of the decor and the color and the excitement, the bam. Do you guys remember the big market that I pulled the all-nighter for and then I was falling asleep at my booth the whole time? Yeah, I have that market. Again, I have a do-over coming up this weekend. Tomorrow, I'm actually gonna start filming another vlog, and we have like 3.5 days to start prepping for this market, and I'm already in a good place with my inventory, so we're not looking at a redo. It's not going to be as chaotic as it was last time. So if you're excited to see that, make sure you turn on your post notifications. You don't miss when I post. Like, oh my gosh, like I can actually sit on this thing. I won't, but like I could. And in the meantime, please like, share with your friends, and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.